Hi folks, this is Jackie Bushman of Buckmasters. Thanks so much for renewing your membership to the #1 deer hunting association in the country, Buckmasters. And if you're not a member watching today's tape, look for our commercial and you too can join millions of deer hunters in our great association. Now, kick back and enjoy the Best of Buckmasters 1997 television series.
The Buckmasters Whitetail Magazine with Jackie Bushman is brought to you by your local Yamaha dealer, who invites you to see their exciting line of motorcycles, ATVs, and snowmobiles. Budweiser, to good times and the great outdoors. This Bud's for you. Bear Archery, makers of legendary Bear and Jennings bows. Wellington Outdoors, makers of America's #1 deer lure, Tinks number 69, doe and rut buck lure. Remington Country, where you'd rather be. Real Tree Extra, if it looks real, it's Real Tree. Liberty, makers of quality outdoor apparel since 1912. Federal Ammunition, for the shot of a lifetime. Nikon binoculars and scopes, for a better look at your world. And the Woods Wise Call Masters, a tradition of quality, a reputation for success.
Our first stop on the video series is Montana, where Russell Thornberry, the editor of the Buckmasters Whitetail magazine, takes a terrific buck with his bow.
That afternoon, Russ goes to a stand set up just inside the edge of the woods. Once the shadows began to fall, the deer started to move, heading for the fields. They took their time and fed along the way. Then just before dark, a small buck showed up. It was obvious that the bucks were waiting till last to move. And by sundown, the deer were already out in the fields.
There are a million other places you could be right now, like a million average hunters. But this is no average buck, and big bucks don't come easy. That's why you're here with the Buckmaster by Jennings. One cam technology, machined aluminum riser, carbon quad limbs, custom hardwood grip, all in Advantage camo. Go early, stay late. Take no shortcuts. The Buckmaster by Jennings, with lifetime warranty and a free 1-year Buckmasters membership with purchase for about $300.
The next morning, as Russ sat in his stand, he could see a couple of does feeding about 100 yards away. A nice 8-point comes through and makes a scrape. Not far behind is another good-looking buck. And by late morning, Russ began to notice a pattern. All of the deer he had seen either fed under or passed by one particular tree before they moved into thick cover. After the deer activity stopped, Russ and cameraman Gene Beitelspacher discussed the morning's events.
This is it. This is the magic spot. 6 bucks standing under. What is this? Any idea at all?
I have no idea, but every deer that we saw came through under this tree.
It looked to me like, Gene, I was watching through the binoculars, it looks like they're picking up these leaves, and I don't know what the magic is, but as long as they keep doing it, if they do it one more morning.
We'll have, I know we were 100 yards away, we could see him, but we couldn't do anything about it.
Well, we have one user-unfriendly cottonwood at 35 yards, and I have no idea how to get more than one stand in it, but...
Well, if worse comes to worse, you can set up for the shot, and I can get back in the other stand.
You can see those bucks well enough
I
from
can
there?
see them from there, but I won't be as close as I'd like to be. But...
Well, I mean, it's if it's that or nothing, let's do that.
Okay. All right.
And let's hope.
They decide to relocate one stand to be within range of the tree that all the deer seem to be attracted to. The deer left the fields early the next morning. Shortly after daybreak, a tremendous buck passes right under Russ's stand. He makes a good shot, and the buck runs off, unaware of what has happened. Russ gives the buck a little time, then gets down to follow the trail.
Oh, look at this. Man. Oh, Gino, are you going to be tickled with this? Look at this, baby. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Do you believe it?
Look at that.
We're talking about the man. Look at this guy.
I could see him, but I couldn't tell just what he was.
Gene, I had no idea. I was sitting up there and with my bow still on the bow hanger, I heard two crunches and looked down and he came under the limb under me. By the time I got my bow up, got my release on the string, he's already at 35 yards. He's the only buck that came under that tree this morning.
He's got everything. Look at the massive antlers.
I know it.
And you told me he had forked brow tines, but I had no idea they were like that.
Oh, man. I'm pinching myself, man. I cannot believe. I'll tell you what, this is no joke, Gene. By yesterday morning, I was beginning to think this videoing whitetail hunting with a bow is somebody else's game. I mean, it's almost an injustice that I should get this deer because all I've been formulating in my mind was going to write about how impossible this thing really is. But I guess this is what keeps you coming back.
It worked. It worked.
Man, thanks, Gene. What a setup.
Good shot, man.
Look at this.
Hi, this is Jackie Bushman of Buckmasters. You know, I love the great sport of whitetail deer hunting, but most of all, I love to take a buck with the bow and arrow. Check out this buck right here, a 10-point buck here in Montana, and I took him with an Easton XX75, 2213. Hey, when it comes to bow hunting, get an Easton arrow. It's the only way to hunt. Get on down to your local Easton archery dealer today. Our next stop is with my good friend George and Josh Warner of Hill Country Whitetails, where we'll be bow hunting the scenic mountains of Pennsylvania.
The wind was perfect as he checks his gear and gets set up long before daylight. The morning was calm and quiet as the sun slowly peeked over the distant mountains. Two does suddenly appear on their way back from the fields. Not far behind the does was a nice 10-point. He stayed hot on their trail and never came past the stand. Things really started to happen as a small buck passes right under the stand. Then a good 8-point steps into the roadway and goes straight to the scrape where the tarsal gland was hung. buck comes even closer to the stand. He stays in the thick brush and walks right under the stand. When the buck goes behind a tree, Jackie makes his move.
Good shot. Man, he was working the scrape, jumped up in the tree right there, coming down the road. He just angled right in front of me. I kind of grunted at him to make him stop. I made a good shot. He just went a little bit. That was fun, though, because I could see him coming from a distance. And I had never seen one really jump up in a tree, but he jumped up in that tree right there, made a scrape, and then just made a beeline right to us and cut right in front of us. This bow hunt's fun. That was a lot of fun.
Look at the body on him, Josh. I bet you he weighs over 200 pounds, doesn't
Yeah, I'd say he's over 200.
he? It was really neat. It was, you know, early this morning, he came right down the old dim road right there. He came right out, and he came up, and right there where we put the tarsal, you won't believe it. He was making scrape, and he went up on his hind legs and put his head up in there.
Up in the branches.
Yeah, yeah, and then he just kind of kept on coming down the dim road right there.
You can see the
Yeah, he's tearing it up.
trees on his horns.
Yeah, and then he cut right in front of us, and I wasn't sure if I could take the shot because all those briars were right there. So I let him start coming up the hill a little bit, and I grunted at him once. He didn't hear me, and I grunted at him again. He stopped. I made a good shot, and boy, he's got good mass on him, though. Man, oh man.
Well, congratulations.
Hey, I appreciate it. Second year's the charm.
Yes, you did.
I wasn't very good last year as far as my shooting ability, but I made a good shot on him. So I'll tell you what.
Well, that's great.
You'll go back and get the four-wheeler for me?
Yeah, I'll head back. Stay
All right.
right here.
All right, buddy.
Remington has a lineup of rifles and shotguns that can help any deer hunter improve his odds, like the Model 700 and Model 7 rifles, the most accurate out-of-the-box bolt actions built. For lightning quick speed, the Model 7400 autoloader and the Model 7600 pump are the hunter's favorite repeaters. And if you shoot slugs, sabots, or buckshot, Remington shotguns will help you bring home the venison. So get on down to your local gun shop and shoulder a Remington. Be careful, you might not want to give it back.
Some can't see the forest for the trees. And then there are those who spend a lot of time in the forest, in the trees. At Budweiser, we're committed to conservation, education, and responsible activities afield. Through partnerships with the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation and Buckmasters, we're working to preserve a great American tradition, so the great American hunter will always be right where he belongs. To good times in the great outdoors, this bud's for you.
Next, we use a shotgun slug to take a nice buck in my home state of Alabama.
Jackie tried several stand locations during the week and had a lot of deer activity around him.
He's coming right to it.
Jackie decided to take a break from his favorite hardwood stands and set up along the edge of a wheat field that had woods on 3 sides. The wind was directly out of the west, so he placed his stand halfway down the field, hoping to catch the deer entering the secluded corner where the afternoon shadows would fall first. He takes all the precautions by spraying a cover scent to prevent detection from any deer that may enter the field from downwind. The stand location offered an effective shooting range for the shotgun to just about anywhere in the field. A spike steps out of the shadows and walks toward the stand. As a doe feeds along the edge of the field, a good buck suddenly shows up. With the sun directly in his eyes and a few small branches blocking his view, Jackie hesitates for a few seconds, and the buck leaves the field. After missing the opportunity, Jackie looks behind the stand and sees another buck watching him.
Got him. Well, that's a good buck. Right when we got up in the tree, it wasn't 5 or 10 minutes, a spike came out. Right behind it, another spike came out, and they were kind of sparring a little bit. And then there was a doe that came out. And the sun was just starting to creep down right on the edge of the woods right there, and it was really in our face. And I kept watching the doe. She kept looking back in the corner of the field. And I couldn't see anything because the sun was really, really bright. And all of a sudden, I saw a nice rack on the edge. We had a lot of limbs right in front of us, so I really couldn't tell, but I waited till he fed on out in the field a little bit, and it was really a good buck. And I got my shotgun up, and I took the safety off, and I had the crosshairs lined up for a perfect shot, and all of a sudden, he looked right in the corner, just picked his head up, looked in the corner, and just ran right toward the corner. And I know had to be a doe or another buck right there because the wind was, you know, coming to him. But I was sitting there, and I said, doggone, that was a great buck, and he got away. And all of a sudden, I just looked over my shoulder right behind us, and here he was. He came right out on the edge of the field, and you know, he was getting a little nervous whether he heard the buck or saw the buck run in. I don't know whether he was out when the other buck was out, but he was getting a little nervous right there, and he was kind of quartering to me, and there were some branches right in front of me, but I was fortunate to make a good shot, and, you know, he didn't go anywhere. But, you know, we've had a lot of fun. I know a lot of states you can only shotgun hunt. Here in Alabama, you can use, you know, just about everything. But this is the first buck I've taken with a shotgun since I was 14 years old, and it was really a lot of fun. If you hadn't tried using a slug gun, I would highly recommend it because it is a lot of fun. I like to shoot between 50 and 75 yards. They'll go on out a little bit further, but that's my confidence level. And this deer right here was out probably about 65 to 70 yards. But we've had fun hunting the last couple of weeks, and this is just the end result.
Two of the most important things in bow hunting are preseason practice and shot placement. And McKenzie's new Aim Right target provides both to make you a better bow hunter. The Aim Right is anatomically correct and features the molded outline of shoulder and leg bones. A replaceable heart-lung core will help you learn to place your shots in the vital zone every time. The size of an average white-tailed buck, this durable target stops field points or broadheads and can be shot from either side. McKenzie's Aim Right, the perfect choice for realistic hunting practice and backyard shooting fun.
Buckmasters staff members Alan Brewer and Russell Thornberry join me on a bow hunt with Raleigh Curry at the Z-Bar Ranch in Texas.
That first afternoon, Buckmasters staff member Alan Brewer sets up in the thickest grove of oak trees he can find. Late in the day, he spots a good buck crossing a small open area where the shadows have already fallen. The buck follows a doe into the oak trees and right past the stand. Alan knew he had made a good shot and got down immediately. Alan was pleased with his 9-point.
Hi, I'm Jackie Bushman. I'm very serious about my whitetail deer hunting, and that's why I need head-to-toe protection. I wear duck's-back coveralls in the new Realtree Extra Gray with warm hollow fill insulation, leg zippers, and big pockets. And when the hunt's over, nothing's better than my duck's-back hooded jacket and hollow fill jeans in new extra brown. These look good and are long on comfort. Duck's-back hunting apparel for life in the open, available at your neighborhood Walmart.
The next morning, Jackie was in his stand long before daylight. A couple of does take advantage of the cool morning as they feed through an opening in the distance. A flock of turkeys that had been roosting nearby search for acorns as the early morning sunshine begins to reach the ground. A doe shows up right under the stand, with a couple of small bucks not far behind. They appear to be a little nervous, so when it's safe to move, Jackie turns to see what they were looking at and sees a tremendous buck passing right behind the stand. There wasn't much he could do but hope the buck comes back through in front of him where he'd have an open shot. Eventually, the deer that were feeding near the stand move on. As Jackie takes one more look behind the stand, he sees another good buck walking the edge of the thick cover. A lot of deer activity, but no shot. That afternoon, Jackie took the four-wheeler to a stand where Raleigh said there was a good chance of seeing a big one. He takes all the precautions and sprays himself all over with an odor eliminator before going to the stand. The tripod was positioned in the center of several sprawling oak trees. The canopy of branches overhead made perfect cover. While he was getting set up, Jackie heard something coming through the brush on his right. This must be the big one Raleigh was talking about. The day got better after that. Once the shadows began to fall, the deer started to move. And a good buck with exceptionally long tines shows up along the edge of the oaks across from the stand. A little too far for a shot, but what an impressive sight. Late that same afternoon, Russell Thornberry had quite an eventful day from his stand. He spots a good heavy-beamed buck approaching from about 70 yards out. The buck takes a path that should bring him right past the stand. But just as he was about to get within range, he stopped, as if he sensed something wrong. The big buck walked away, but just as he does, 2 more bucks come toward the stand from another direction.
How about it? Everything works so right. Thank you for walking on that side of the tree.
This is the Multi-Lock, the newest multi-function tool by Gerber Legendary Blades. This tool packs 14 of the sportsman's most needed tools into a compact 8-ounce package. With 10 locking components, the Multi-Lock is essential for any outdoor activity. The Multi-Lock can be opened with one hand and is ready for work with a flick of the wrist. The Multi-Lock has screwdrivers, knife blades, files, and a can and bottle opener. All components are easily accessible and lock into place. The Multi-Lock, the best multi-function tool on the market, perfect for any outdoor activity.
Next, we use a muzzle loader to take a mature Alabama buck during the peak of the rut.
The wheat field Jackie planned to hunt was set up for a west wind along the edge of the field. However, with the approach of a weather front and the change of wind direction out of the southeast, it was necessary to reposition the stand to a downwind group of pine trees. The approach to the stand was easy, and the setup would be to catch the deer as they followed the trails from the woods, crossing the ditch into the wheat. A small buck comes out of the woods across from the stand. Chases a doe around in circles for quite a while before coming past the stand on the way to the wheat field.
Well, there's a good buck right there coming out on the edge of the field. Well, that's a shooter buck there. He's about 150 yards, 200 yards out. That's a good buck. The only chance I got is that they get through feeding in the clover right there. They might come down my direction and cut back over toward the bedding area. If those does will come that way, maybe that buck will chase them. There comes some of the does right there toward me. All right, come on. If that buck will just see him and come toward him.
got a chance. He's coming. He's coming. Come on, come on. Doggone it. He went right there in that head. He's gonna cut across. That's a pretty long shot. He's too far to shoot, but he's really riding that dial right there pretty good. If he'll just bring that dial back around a little closer, I can get a shot. Come on. Push her a little bit harder. There it is. Get him. There he is right there. Let's see if I can get across this ditch right here. Yes, sir. Good buck. I mean, a great buck. Boy, this is a great buck. Look at this, folks. Nice 8-point buck. My first buck with the Buckmasters CVA muzzleloader. If you hadn't tried muzzleloader hunting, you ought to give it a try because it is a lot of fun. I tell you, we've had some tough luck this year. We've tried extremely hard. We've had some situations where the bucks came in and we just couldn't get a good shot. And, you know, basically I set up similar to bow hunting, but I feel comfortable taking a 50 to 75 yard shot. Now these guns will go up to 100, 125 yards, but that's what I feel comfortable at shooting, and that's kind of the way we try to get our setups where we can have that. We looked at the weather map today and it said we were going to have a southeast wind, so we had to change our stand location off the wheat and clover field, and we were on a pine thicket. And we got our stands on the south side of the trails coming into the field. And we got a huge storm coming in. In fact, it's raining right now. But does came out in the field, there's a little spike, and this buck came out on the field, and this is pretty early. And he didn't really chase the does or anything, he just came out and started feeding. And I guess he's starting to feed because the storm's coming in. And I said, the only chance we got is maybe when he gets through feeding, he'll start chasing some of these does. Well, he started doing that and working his way down toward us. And I had a chance, he was coming right toward this ditch, which was about 50 yards from us. I tried to grunt, he didn't stop. He didn't hear me, obviously. And he cut across the ditch and he started going away from me. I said, well, we've blown that opportunity. Well, I looked out of the side of my eye and there was another doe coming across the pasture right here. Well, once he saw her, he made a beeline right to her and started rutting her a little bit. And then she came right back to the ditch and I said, this is my only chance. And he was running pretty hard. I grunted at him loud enough that he could hear me. He stopped and I made one good shot. This was a lot of fun this afternoon, but if you hadn't tried muzzleloader hunting, you ought to give it a try. And this is the end result of some hard hunting this year. Let me get back to the four-wheeler because it's getting ready to really start raining pretty hard here, and I'll get him out.
Hunting with a CVA muzzleloader gives you that one-shot challenge. CVA has a wide variety of muzzleloaders ranging from side locks to inlines to the new CVA Firebolt bolt action muzzleloader starting at under $250. You get accuracy at an affordable price with a CVA muzzleloader. For your free video tips to muzzleloading success, call or write CVA.
Jay Bunning of Remington Arms joins me on a hunt with Tim Craig of Boulder Creek Outfitters, where we take a couple of nice Idaho bucks.
A couple of does cross over a ridge in the distance. Well after daybreak, and as the sun was beginning to cover the valley floor, a nice buck tops out on a far ridge. It looks like a pretty good buck, but he's just too far away and heading in the other direction. Meanwhile, Tim Craig is set up about a mile away with Jay Bunting of Remington Arms.
This time of day, do the deer tend to stay in the bottoms, or they work their way up to the ridges?
Yeah, they'll be running those canyons and the bottoms on that brush, you know, and then they'll be working up these bald ridges, looking for does, those bucks will. Rut's just getting kicked in now, you know. It's just starting up. It's a little bit warm. Need a little cooler weather would speed things up, but they're going along here. We'll be getting into a few. I see those down over there in that one canyon there. There's a couple deer standing out there right now. See, it looks like a couple of does there. What's that? Looks like one down behind it there. Do you see that one over there below it?
Uh-huh.
That's a little buck, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Little spike, maybe.
Little buck down there. But see how they'll just work along and feed up those ridges and stuff. But you know, in big country like this here, we need to, you know, kind of split up. I'll watch one way, you watch another, and you know, that way we can cover more ground, you know, because it's just too much to see, and they move so quick, you know, this time. Well, look over here. Jay, see him there coming down that trail there. A nice buck there. Let's wait till he stops, take the shot. That's a nice buck, Jay. Let's go on down there, take a look at him. Well, Jay, that's sure a nice deer you got this morning. Look at that bugger, huh? I tell you, that was interesting how he come in behind us, wasn't it?
Oh, he's man, hey,
look at that, Jackie, look at this.
I come all the way up the mountain to see this deal.
Yeah, quite a deer.
Man,
now.
what a buck.
How are you?
Congratulations, man.
Oh, I'm tickled to death.
That is a super buck.
Look at the tines on this deer.
Golly, what an 8 point.
Isn't that something?
What an 8
beam
point.
on him is really nice.
I told you Tim could put you on him now. So what happened this morning?
We nearly got fooled.
Really?
Yeah.
He just snuck in on us, Jackie. We were watching a couple other does and a small buck, and just noticed something in the back, and he just comes sneaking up behind. He's just trailing along there, you know, and he just didn't have a whole lot of time. Made a great shot on him.
Well, super.
And,
got a buck with your new rifle.
Well.
Yeah.
Buck with your new rifle. Well, you've seen a lot of game this week, haven't you?
I sure have. Elk, deer, mule deer, coyote. It's
seen it all.
They have it all here.
Well, this is the end result of some hard hunting, but I told you you'd have a good trip. I told you you'd have a good
forward to coming back.
I know you would be. I knew you would be. All right, I'll go down to the bottom of the hill and get the four-wheel.
Okay.
And y'all get him all tagged up, and I'll be right back.
I'm getting ready for you, Jay.
Congratulations, man.
Okay.
I'm happy for you.
Jay.
Thanks.
Good deal.
It was a drizzly start to the day that next morning as Jackie sat high on a ridge watching across a ravine into a brushy hillside. Jackie watches the coyote pass, then spots a deer on the top of the far ridge. A doe steps out into the open, with a good buck a little above her and to the left behind the tree. The buck stays behind the tree and walks over the ridge. Later that day, Jackie and Tim head for another part of the ranch.
I'm glad this rain stopped, boy. It's been raining all day long.
It's been wet, isn't it?
Man, oh man, it's been tough weather.
We're going to go up here, Jackie, and
sit up in this ridge over here. It overlooks a real nice apple orchard over there.
Okay.
And we'll just ease up over that ridge and sit down for the afternoon. See if we can find something here. It's quit raining, the weather doesn't cooperate.
Finally, good.
Jackie, there, look at a couple bucks up there in
Where?
that ridge. A couple nice deer.
Boy, that is 2 good bucks right there, Tim.
Let's head on down off that finger ridge there and see if we can get a shot at it.
All right, come on.
Hey, Jackie, here, set up right here. There they are, coming around the point.
Yep.
See those 2 there?
Yep.
Front one. Wait a minute, just see that first
First one or second one?
Not, that second one. The second one's the best one, Jackie. Now, they're moving pretty quick here. Wait till they slow down and stop there. Hold it there, Jackie. There he is.
The second one?
Second one. Good shot, Jackie. You got him. Let's go get him.
Boy, that's a good buck
That's a
there,
nice
Tim.
deer. Come on.
That's a good buck. Gee whiz, man, I'm whooped. Whew, there he is up there.
Yeah, there he is. Nice deer.
Nice buck. Man, I'm getting too old to walk up these hills like this.
Kind of steep, aren't they?
Man, let's go check him out. Phew. Got him, Tim.
There he is.
Nice
That's a
buck.
dandy. That's a nice deer there, Jackie.
Nice buck.
Look at that. What, 9?
9 pointer.
9 points, son. That's a nice one, huh?
Golly.
That worked out pretty good, even for all the ugly weather we got.
God, have we had some bad weather or
It's
what?
been nasty.
It
yeah,
has
a
been
lot.
nasty.
Raining and snowing. in the high
Rain and
country.
snow all morning, and then we're walking down the road trying to go to the stand, and they obviously came out right after the rain.
Yeah.
Came
Oh,
out
yeah.
early this afternoon.
Yeah, they're just moving throughout the day, you know, and
that's
yeah, it's just real neat to see them up in that ridge going in there, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Worked
Well,
out
that's where
good.
we were trying to go,
Yeah.
and they're standing up there waiting on
Yeah.
us.
Yeah, it's
And then
good.
you
Worked
kept
out
going,
great.
first buck, second buck. I didn't know which one to take.
Yeah, they're kind of, you know, about
Yeah.
the same size deer there.
Boy.
It stood still a little longer, gives us a little
Yeah,
more time.
well,
there.
they moved on us, and we had
Yeah.
to wait until they stopped.
Yeah,
But,
that's neat. Worked out
fortunately,
great.
get
I'll
a
tell
good shot at him.
Worked out nice. That's a good deer.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Yeah, congratulations.
Now, you owe me a favor, okay?
Okay. Yeah, what's that?
I need you to go back down that hill and get that four-wheeler,
Oh,
because I'm whooped.
Oh, okay, I figured that. And what do I get back in return then? I mean, that's a pretty steep hill, you know.
I know, but you owe
We'll
me.
give it a try.
You owe me one.
I'll see you in a little bit.
All right, I'll get him tagged up.
Adjustable rear suspension, 600cc, fully automatic transmission. Grizzly by Yamaha, the ultimate ATV.
Next, I join my good friend Bill Jordan on a hunt at the Encinitas Ranch in South Texas.
Before we get started this afternoon, I'm gonna put out some 69 and some of these film canisters. I got 2 film canisters, and I'll put these out here on the edge of the woods and see if we can't get an old curious buck to come out and check it out. Ooh, that stuff's strong. I'll put one here. Got another one in my pouch here. We'll come down here and put another one.
Jackie is not in the stand long before he spots a deer. A nice buck appears on the edge of the thick brush. He's curious about the scent. He goes to the second canister, then hits the branches overhead. Jackie takes a close look at him. The buck comes even closer. Even though the buck is a good 10-point, he lacks the body size and antler mass of a mature buck. Early the next morning, Jackie heads back to the stand.
There's a deer. It's a buck. That's a pretty good buck. That's not the same buck that I saw last night. Looks like a 10. Golly, that's a... He's good. That's a shooter buck. Oh, don't go behind that tree. Come on, come on, come on out. He's right behind that bush right there. Come on out. There he is. There he is. Come on, turn broadside. Doggone it. Come on. There you go. Turn broadside. Oh, man. Whew, that's a good deer. There he is right there. Boy, that's a good buck. That's a good buck.
Look at the mass on this buck. Boy, boy, oh boy, look at this. That's a great deer right there now. Look at him, he's tearing the trees up. What is he, 10? Trying to be 11, would have been a 12. That is a great, great deer. Look at that. Good mass, good everything. Well, I tell you folks, we have had a lot of fun hunting here on the Encinitas Ranch. We have really hung in here on this one particular stand. And we've been hunting a buck, we've been seeing right at dark. And he's probably 20-something inch spread. He looked like a 9 or possibly a 10-point. We kept seeing him every evening. It was really too late to film him, but we kept going back hoping he'd come out in good camera light, but he never did. And we saw a good 10-point, I think it was yesterday, day before yesterday, we passed on, and he was a good buck too. And this deer right here, he just came out. It was right here early this morning, and he came in, he was downwind of that, the scent canister, and he was coming in real, real cautious. And he got behind a little old bush out there. And I tell you what, I was shaking like a leaf. And finally he stepped out and turned broadside and gave me a good shot. Well, let me get him all tagged up. We'll get him on back to camp. I would say Bill is gonna be tickled to see this, but he probably won't be. That's a great deer.
Bill Jordan also had a great day as he sat along a power line and rattled in a good buck.
You know, rattling in December in South Texas, we're proud of this deer.
You've waited all your life for this moment. Are you ready? Whether you're a seasoned deer hunter or new to the sport, Buckmasters Whitetail Magazine will prepare you. In every issue, you'll find scientific discoveries about whitetail deer and their behavior, plus reviews of the latest deer hunting equipment, hunting how-to features with time-proven and new innovative hunting techniques for gun and bow hunters, political updates concerning hunters' rights, big buck features showcasing the latest state and national records. It's all here with Buckmasters, preparing you for the moment. You'll receive 18 issues of Buckmasters Whitetail Magazine, a camo hat, a vehicle decal, $1,000 worth of gun and bow insurance, a quality scent from Wellington Outdoors, a Woods-Wise grunt call, a 2-hour Best of Buckmasters video, and a 3-inch Gerber lock blade knife worth over $150, but it's yours for $62.95. One-year membership also available for $22. Call now and pick out your membership today.
There's nothing better than being in the outdoors in cool, comfortable clothing. My favorite is Liberty Rugged Outdoor Wear. These bib overalls are versatile and durable, and they're perfect with this handy t-shirt. And they're both available in the new Realtree Extra Brown Camouflage. And when it's cold, I wear Liberty coveralls. They're loaded with warm, hollow fill insulation. They also come in the new Realtree Extra Gray, a great all-season pattern. Available where your better sporting goods are sold.
Next, I take my biggest bow buck ever on a hunt in Montana.
Setup. We're in a cottonwood tree which has 3 trails that are intersecting together. Gives us about a 20-yard shot. We've got a willow thicket out here, probably 100 or 200 yards in front of us. We got a west-northwest wind, which is perfect. We're anticipating the deer coming from that direction out of their bedding area and be walking south or southwest to the sugar beets. So we're just getting set up here. I gotta let my pendulum down, but we're looking forward to a good hunt here in Montana. We'll see what happens this afternoon. That's a good deer. Looks like it's got an 8 or 10 point coming. He's gonna come in and bed up pretty low. Pretty nice, Bob. Like an 8 or 10.
Late that evening, just before dark, 2 bucks slowly work their way from the thick cover. They follow a well-used cow trail that passes right under the stand. Jackie sat in the same stand the next morning with no results. So after the morning hunt, he looks for another tree a little closer to the trail he had seen the big buck use the day before.
This wind's swirling a little bit, and I'm gonna freshen up. Put
some more raccoons then now. Stuff strong. Oh, it's a pretty morning. There comes a buck right there. Let's see, looks like there's a dove. There's another rack buck coming with him. They're at about 60 or 70 yards. That's a shooter buck. He'll come on. He's coming right under the stand. It's a good rack buck. Looks like about a 10 point. Made a good shot. Man, oh man. Boy, that's a good looking buck right there. That's a great deer. Man, what a buck. What a buck. Man, oh man. Great deer. 10 points. This is a great buck, folks. And with the bow and arrow, man, oh man, oh man. I'm still shaking. This is a morning I'll never forget. We've been working so hard this week trying to find the right cottonwood tree. And as I mentioned, it is so hard to find a straight cottonwood. You find the sign, you see where the deer are going through, you're looking for that perfect tree, and then you find a crooked cottonwood. But we found a straight cottonwood on this old rascal right here. But the first morning we were sitting in the stand, and right before daybreak we had a really nice buck. About the caliber of this deer come in a little bit too early for video light. I could have taken the deer, but we let it go by, and we started seeing deer about 100 yards up in front of us. And this deer right here was hitting a tree one morning, and I could see him laying his head back, and I said, that's a good 10-pointer up there. So we relocated our stand. We moved up about 100 yards. Yesterday afternoon, we put the stand up, and we couldn't hunt it in the afternoon because we had a southeast wind. And the bedding area is behind us, and that would have been a bad wind. The wind would have been blowing our scent right back into the bedding area. So we gave up yesterday afternoon. And this morning it's a southeast wind. We were waiting for them to come out of the sugar beets, and they showed up at about 8:30. And there was 2 small rack bucks and a doe, and all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the 10-pointer steps out right behind our tree. And being left-handed, he was on the wrong side really for me. So I was fortunate to make a good shot, and this is just the end result of a great deer and a great morning. Oh man, let me get him tagged, and I'll go on back to camp and get some help, get the 4-wheel and get this old rascal out of here. Keller, the original pendulum bow sight, automatically compensates for distance, bow poundage, and tree stand height. The Keller sight will eliminate the guesswork in calculating yardage and will improve the accuracy of any bow shot from an elevated position. The Keller pendulum sight is dead on from 0 to 30 yards with 2 extra sight pins for ranges beyond 30 yards. So for a durable, rigid bow sight that'll increase your success and confidence, buy the original pendulum bow sight, the Keller.
Out here, there's no time clock. No traffic jams. No shopping malls. No politics. No neckties. No wonder hunters and shooters contributed hundreds of millions to protect it. Federal Ammunition, a proud supporter of the shooting sports.
Welcome back.
Our next show is a little bit different. We travel to northern Quebec, just below the Arctic Circle, to hunt the Quebec Labrador caribou with my good friend Sammy Catafio of Ungava Adventures.
As the weather began to clear, Alan Brewer and his hunting companion Mark Kennedy, who had filled out on his caribou permits earlier that week, climbed to the top of a ridge. Just as he reaches the top, Alan spots a nice bull. But before he can get a good look at him, the bull drops over the edge into a ravine. Alan tries to cut him off. He gets into position and waits.
For an old whitetail hunter, this is a lot of antler, isn't it?
Oh man, I know how you feel.
Oh boy.
Something else is the how white this bull is.
Yeah, you told me when they get more mature, they turn whiter. So this is a fairly mature bull.
This is definitely an older bull here.
Good deal. Well, I tell you what, I appreciate it. It was a fun stalk across the tundra, but it's a chance of a lifetime, and you helped me fulfill it. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Jackie and Bucky also had an interesting morning as they worked their way toward a ridge.
Not what we want. Well, that sure is pretty right there, though. They're gonna skyline up there in a second. Boy, that's a pretty sight right there.
Hey, Jackie, we'll just pop up over this little crest of a rock right here, and we're gonna get set up here maybe and stop for a little while and look.
Okay.
There's a real good spot. They come down off that far basin there and come around the end of this little lake here, and they funnel right through here. We should be able to see them within 150, 200 yards here when they start coming through better.
How about this big rock? Is that a good place to get set up?
Yeah, we'll set up right behind that, and we can take a little bit of cover there, and we'll set the scope up here, and we'll see what we can find in this bunch of animals coming right here right now. Okay.
After the bulls passed, Bucky led the way to a good vantage point. And once in position, the action started. It was just a few bulls at first. Then a herd of a couple hundred caribou came by on the run. With some good bulls trailing up at the end. Bucky uses the spotting scope to look over some caribou in the distance.
Yeah, Jackie, there's a nice bunch of bulls right down there in that low
Oh,
spot.
yeah, right next to the water down there.
Yeah, they're going to be crossing that little trickle of water there in a couple minutes here.
Well, it's 3 white ones, isn't it, Buck?
Yeah, there's three bulls there together and some cows and calves.
Well, those white ones really stand out.
Yeah, you can see them this time of year. They start turning more and more white there every day, and you can start picking them out quite a ways away here pretty soon.
So you're saying every bull will turn white?
Yeah, especially the older ones.
Uh-huh.
The 3-4-year-old bulls, they start to get a white on their neck and brisket. But the front shoulders, but the older bulls, like some of these ones here, their whole body starts to get pretty white this time of year.
Yeah, some of them are in velvet, some of them are completely out of velvet. I see that one in the back there.
Yeah, he's right out of velvet. He's been coming out of velvet for the last 4 or 5 days, and he's pretty well bare there right now. He's going to be a hard horn bull. There's a really wide one there stepping into the water there right now.
You're the first one?
First one. He's got, see the big shovels and bezzes on him?
Oh, yeah.
That second one there is not real good. He's still got velvet on, but he's just not a very good bull. And that third one there, I think, is the nicest one of the works.
Boy, look at him. He's pretty.
He's got 4 or 5 points there on each side here. He's got some nice big bezzes and a big double shovel. We'll have a real close look at him, Jackie.
Yeah, he's a possible shooter, possible.
Yes, sir.
When the bull got closer, Jackie could see it was a good one.
Okay, there we go. Good stuff.
Got it. God, what great bull. Great bull.
Dropped him right down.
Oh, man.
Okay, let's go.
All right. Look how big he is.
Boy, he's got some real nice points. Look at up top here.
Man.
Now look at this. He's just come out of velvet right here, because that's the blood vessels from the velvet he's rubbing off.
Yeah, he just had that rubbed off there in the last few days. And,
Really?
and he's dried up real nice. I've seen some of the other ones rubbing there, and they're coming out of velvet real good, but he's just real.
A lot of the other ones had velvet, they were hanging off and everything. And some of them were still in velvet. Look how white his mane is right there.
He's just a real healthy bull. Yeah, nice and
Now, what will he weigh?
He'll probably weigh close to 400 pounds.
400 pounds.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, he's got some nice heavy beams. He's got a nice set of bezzes there and one big shovel.
So these are the bezzes?
Yes, sir.
And that's the double shovel you were talking about?
It's somewhat rare to get 2 shovels like that.
Is it?
He's just a really good bull.
Everything worked perfect. Well, I'll tell you what, if you'll go back to camp and get the 4-wheelers, I'll get him all tagged up and I'll wait for you right here.
Okay, I'll be back in 20 minutes.
That'd be great.
Introducing Nikon Monarch UCC rifle scopes. These remarkable new hunting optics give you a brighter, clearer, higher contrast image in those situations when you need it most. At dawn, at dusk, or in dark, dismal weather. Built around the exclusive Nikon Ultra Clear Coat optical system, Monarch UCC scopes transmit an unbeatable 95% of available light through the scope to your eye. Ask your dealer to show you the new standard in hunting optics, Nikon Monarch UCC. For a free catalog, 1-800-248-6846. Welcome back.
Russell Thornberry and I joined Don Montgomery on his ranch just north of Dallas, Texas, and take a couple of great bucks right at the beginning of the rut.
Even in the dense fog, the bucks were on the move, looking for does. Once the fog lifted, Russ spotted a good buck across the field, watching a doe. He finally jumped the fence. Russ thought he was gone. But instead, he went after another doe. they came back out into the field.
Russ.
Here I am. Come and look.
Man, oh man. You sorry rascal.
Yeah, buddy. We've had a morning.
Look at that buck.
Yes, sir. I mean, this deer did it all.
Really?
Started out about 400 yards out chasing the doe.
Man, oh man, look at him.
Isn't that beautiful?
Isn't that a great deer?
Yeah.
Look at that, even got a fork right
Yeah.
there. Look how dark his horns are.
Oh, I did. Promise you, I've been watching him for an hour, doing everything in the world.
Interesting hunt, huh?
Oh, man. Well, and I'll tell you what, first saw him about 400 yards chasing a doe out where I couldn't really tell exactly what it was. And I've seen an 8-pointer in here that will just choke you. In fact, turned it down because it was early in the hunt. And I decided that if it came back today, I'd try. And then this guy's chasing the doe all around. He's getting closer and closer. And the doe wanted in this green field, and he would jump in and run down the fence and keep her from coming into the groceries. It was a darndest thing. And circled around, and then finally right out in front of me, and I said, time's up.
Time's up. Boy,
So,
that's a great
isn't that
deer.
nice?
What is he, 11? 11
Actually,
point?
well,
Could
he's
be a
trying to
12.
make a 12 right there.
Isn't that something?
But got character, I'll tell you.
Boy, look how red his coat is. Almost
I know.
got a summer
Yeah,
coat to him, doesn't he?
Compared to the other bucks I've seen, and there have been a number of them in here, he's kind of got that red cast to him still.
Oh, that's a great deer. Well, congratulations.
Well, I am tickled. Thank you, sir.
All right, you get him tagged up. I'll go back and get the four-wheel, and I'll bring it back, and we'll get him loaded up.
Fair enough.
Boy, that's a great deer.
Thanks.
The next morning turned out to be a pretty eventful one for Jackie as he hunted the other side of the ranch. As the fog began to clear, Jackie could see several does and small bucks in the field. A couple of pretty nice 8-pointers check on the does. And a good-looking 10-point walks off the far end of the field. As the air warms up, the wind begins to tumble and change directions. Jackie applies a cover scent to be safe.
There's another buck. It looks like a real good 8-point. There's a good buck there. Yes, that's a shooter buck right there. Doggone it. Keep staying behind that brushy limb. There's another buck. He's chasing that buck off. That's not a bad buck right there. There's another little buck with him. I ain't go to that gap right there. Doggone it, he won't stop. Those other bucks are giving him fits. Keeps chasing him off. They're trying to get that doe from him. Staying behind that brushy tree right there. Doggone it. All right, come on. Get to that opening. Right there goes the doe right there. Right there in the opening. Right, if you'll go right there in the opening where that doe is, I'll get a shot this time. There he is. Come on.
What you say, Don?
All right, Jackie.
Check this buck out.
Good buck, good buck.
Look at him. Isn't he something?
He's a dandy, good mature deer, big body deer.
Look at the tines on him. Those are 10 or 11 inch tines on him.
At least. Look at the mass here.
Broke those broke off.
What a deer. Congratulations.
Hey, thanks.
Good buck.
This was great. I tell you what, I've been fortunate to take a lot of deer, but I've never watched one as long as I had to watch this old rascal. He must have stayed out there 30 minutes.
Is that right?
And I don't know how many times I took my safety off, but I took it off a bunch. But he was there with the doe, and then these other, another good buck and a small buck, they would circle around. He'd run them off and try to get to the doe. Then he'd run after one buck, another buck would circle around. But he had his hands full all morning. But he just stayed behind the brush right there. I never could get a good broadside shot. I'd have a limb in the way, and I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting. And finally, the doe kind of ran off, and he followed her, and I was fortunate to make a good shot on him. But this was a great morning. But I appreciate everything y'all have done. But this is, what do you reckon, 4-year-old?
4.5, 5.5. He's a good mature type deer. Big body deer, good deer.
Boy.
He's the right type to take.
Well, I tell you, it was a great morning. All right, well, let me get him all tagged up, and we'll get him on back to the lodge. And I know Russ will be glad to see this old rascal, but it was a lot of fun this morning.
Good.
Okay.
Later that week, as the rut came into full swing, Don Montgomery took a tremendous 16-point.
API, America's leader in tree stand technology, meets all the needs of today's hunter. The API Stratopod fixed position stand has a seat that will move up and down and in and out to match the hunter. The silent rotating seat will allow the hunter to make a shot at nearly any angle from a seated position. The new Grand Slam Climber has a simple 2-pin adjustment, no bolts, and the rubber-coated chain makes the stand totally quiet when climbing. For a free catalog, call 1-800-228-4846 today.
In developing the new Realtree Extra pattern, we did a lot of research and development, a lot of field testing, and I know it's our best pattern by far.
Extra is the next generation in camouflage. Featuring 11 warm natural colors, Realtree Extra blends in with an incredible variety of settings and performs perfectly in every conceivable hunting situation.
Just remember, if it looks real, it's Realtree.
Welcome back.
Back to northern Quebec with Sammy Catafio's on Gavet Ventures, where we take a tremendous caribou with a bow.
The caribou were on the move, with both large and small herds passing on the centuries-old migratory route of their ancestors. From the top of a ridge, Alan spots a couple of pretty nice bulls in the distance before they disappear behind a knoll. A big bull suddenly shows up right in front of Alan's position. Alan is impressed by the size of the bull and the heavy palmation on the velvet-covered antlers. Later that day, Jackie and Fabian went back to the same area they had been the day before.
All right, Jackie, this is the perfect spot.
Yeah, it is. They're going to cross right here.
They're going to cross right here, and we got the wind right in our face.
Yeah.
The sun is to our back.
You know, yesterday, they were, where we messed up is they were going right behind that tree right there, so we moved up about 10 more yards.
We got the distance cut down for sure.
Yeah, so 25, 30-yard shot the longest.
Yeah, we got the perfect place right here.
Is that the cows way out there coming?
That's it.
Okay.
The cows.
Let's get down here and get set up.
Right behind them we saw earlier.
Yeah.
So
let's get set up.
Get ready.
All right.
A group of big bulls passed by just out of range. Then the major herd comes by on the trail right next to the blind. There was a steady flow of caribou movement all afternoon. Jackie even practiced drawing his bow to be ready if the right bull should come along.
He's a little further out there than though. Yeah, he's pretty far. Yeah, he's a long way. That's 50 or 60 yards. That's too far. That's too far.
Is that the same?
Big bulls coming out there too.
Is that the same bulls you saw on the spot and scope?
That's the same ones I saw a bit earlier on the ridge there.
Uh-huh.
And they're coming right this way.
Cows with them?
Yeah, the cows are ahead.
Okay.
And they're coming right this way.
Any good bulls in the group?
Yeah, there's one beautiful bull right almost to the end there. Second one to the end.
Okay.
Okay, we're getting pretty close, so we'll get down. And they're going to cross right in front of here.
All right, with the wind.
Right next to our crossing.
Wind's perfect.
The wind is right perfect. It's right obvious. Okay, we got to be quiet here.
All right, the bulls are gonna, if the cows are first now, you're gonna need to help me on which bull to shoot now. Okay?
They're coming across right now.
Okay.
Okay. The cow. The second one to the hen.
Okay, he's still in the water. Okay.
He's still in the water. You get all ready. Good shot. Good shot.
Got it.
Jeez. Good shot.
That's a good bull. That's a good bull.
Really good. Really good.
He had heavy tops.
Heavy tops. You got back points.
Oh, man.
You got double shovels, big bez.
All right, let's give him a little time and we'll go. Then
We'll
we'll
give
get
him a
him.
little time there.
Okay. Man, what a bull. Bull. Is he something or what? Look at the size of this animal.
Oh, he's beautiful.
Golly.
He's just beautiful.
Look at that. He's got everything, doesn't he?
He's bigger than I even thought he was.
Hey, you're the best.
Congratulations. Oh, yeah.
So he's got everything, huh?
He's got everything. You got a trophy bull there.
Hey, and I want you to know you made history. This is the first animal ever taken with the Buckmaster bow by Jennings.
What?
I'm telling you, it's the first one ever, and it's a record book to go with that.
Oh my God.
So you're the top guide. You're the top guide. Isn't that something?
Oh, you got everything. You know, you got the back points there. You got the beautiful tops. You even have a double shovel.
Double shovel to go with.
A nice big vest, and also a good spread.
Right.
a real good spread. So congratulations once again.
I appreciate it. All right, let's
And,
get it all
we'll
tagged up.
Right.
Our work's just getting ready to start, isn't it?
That's it. We got to get to work here now.
All right.
Tag them up, and we'll be ready to go.
All right, good deal.
The sound you just heard is the most revolutionary new deer sound to come along in years. It's a breeding bellow, a punctuated breeding sound the doe makes when she's ready to breed. It attracts bucks like a magnet. The new breeding bellows features an inhale-exhale reed to allow you to make the two-tone sound. Look for the new Woods-Wise breeding bellow at your local dealer or call for a free color brochure.
There are times when you need a flashlight, and there are times when you need a headlamp. Streamlight's new Buckmaster Top Spot is both. It's the most versatile flashlight ever built with a head that rotates 180 degrees and switches instantly to a headlamp. The Buckmaster Top Spot is hands-free. It is designed by hunters for hunters, and it's one of the most important pieces of safety gear you can own. To get one of these great lights, call 1-800-66-BRIGHT.
Our next stop is Alberta, Canada, as we take a huge northern whitetail with a rifle.
Two nice bucks suddenly appear right behind the stand. They're both pretty impressive bucks, and the one even has a sticker point coming off the second tine on the right antler. As the bucks work their way back into the timber, another buck shows up. Jackie takes a closer look. This buck certainly has the look and attitude of dominance. And with the body size of these northern animals, the rack is probably much larger than first impressions lead you to believe. But Jackie lets him go. After the morning activity was through, Jackie checks out the area to find out the best spot for his afternoon setup. A small buck is still roaming around inside the protective cover of willow brush and poplar.
I smell something! Don't start, Hank. That's how we ended up on this wall. Look down there! It's Tink 69, Larry! It's America's #1 buck lure! Dang it, Hank! Tink's also has a complete line of odor eliminators and cover scents. Tink 69! Tink 69! Oh, shut up, Hank. Just shut up.
Well, what are they going to do to us now? Take us off the wall?
Tink's your #1 supplier of odor eliminators and cover scents.
Why, if I was half the buck I used to be...
You are half the buck you used to be.
I love Tink 69!
Welcome back, as Jackie gets set up in his afternoon stand at the edge of thick cover where all the deer had gone that morning. He's right over the top of a well-used trail, and the wind is in his face. He sprays a cover scent just to be safe. It was not long before the action started. The doe takes her time and feeds on the brush as a buck comes in behind her. As Jackie lowers the binoculars, he catches movement in the brush close to the stand. A small buck comes down the trail heading right for the stand. He passes under the stand and sniffs the scent Jackie had sprayed. Right behind him on the same trail is a nice 8-point. He's a little cautious and checks out the scent on the ground. But then comes on by. Late that afternoon, a buck shows up on the other side of the willow brush, walking through a strip of poplars. Jackie is surprised by a buck right in front of the stand. It was an impressive buck, but Jackie recognized the sticker point on the right antler and knew it was the same buck he had passed up earlier that morning. The next couple of days were not all that productive until the last afternoon of the hunt, when Jackie spots a good buck just before dark. The buck rakes the branches with his antlers and makes a scrape. Then starts to walk. He stays behind the thick line of brush and trees and does not offer much of a shot. Jackie goes after the buck immediately.
Folks, look at this buck right here. You talking about last 10 or 15 minutes of the hunt. Well, this is it. And we passed up some great bucks the first morning. And I just said, doggone it, it's gonna come back and get me. But we were sitting there, and all of a sudden, right looking up the trail right there about 100 yards, I saw him step out, and I saw him put his head up into the branches. He was making a scrape. I'm still shaking. But luckily, he came down our way, and he was making scrapes and hitting those rubs, and then just started walking, paralleling us behind that thicket right there. I kept trying to pick my shot, and I never could get it. And finally, I had one more opening. I grunted at him, he stopped, and I made a good shot. But look at the brow tines on this deer. Look at that. This is a great, great deer. But Canadian whitetail hunting, they give you the body size. The body size on this deer is tremendous. His neck is really swollen. He is really getting after it. But that is just a beautiful whitetail buck. I just can't get enough of hunting these deer. Look at that. Well, I got to get my tag on him, and I got to get back and get some help, because I'm going to need a lot of help with this buck.
Do you really need a special boot to ride an ATV? We'll know in a moment after these riders test 2 different boots on our high-intensity torture track. Hit it, boys! After one lap, we'll see how ordinary pack boots compare to this. The new Lacrosse Buckmaster, built with an extra layer of rubber, reinforcing the instep and toe. Okay, let's have a look at the Buckmaster. And now the ordinary pack. You do need a special boot for riding an ATV. See the new reinforced Buckmasters at your Lacrosse dealer now.
Our next trip is on a February bow hunt for mountain lion with Tim Craig of Boulder Creek Outfitters in Idaho. We see a lot of activity and take a hoping young cat.
There they go. He's got a good voice on him, doesn't he?
Oh, yeah. Like that. Yeah, they whip him going around a little bit.
They find it. They got it now going up the hill right there.
By and large, over time, we found that lion hunting with the use of hounds is not only a valid opportunity for sportsmen, but a very good management tool for a wildlife biologist as well.
Conditions were ideal this morning as Jackie and Tim head out on their snowmobiles. There were all kinds of fresh tracks in the dusting of new snow. They headed high on the mountain because the deer and elk, the mountain lion's favorite food, were still at an elevation of nearly 5,000 feet. The scenery was spectacular, and after riding less than an hour, Tim motions for Jackie to stop.
Look at here, Jackie. Here, you come right down the road and rolled right here in the middle of the road. Good
gosh.
He come right off that bank. That's a nice cat now.
Boy, look at the track on
Look
him,
at the track.
too.
That is a good cat.
And he laid down right
Yeah,
here?
he laid out here, rolled right here, cleaned himself up a little bit, and off he went there.
God, look at his track.
Yeah,
Now that's a big line.
That's a nice tom. That's
You know, the
very
female that we went after the other day, we didn't know it was a female, but that track, God, that
yeah,
track
it's a
almost
lot-
doubles that track, doesn't it?
Yes, it is. It's a lot bigger. It's a lot better cat. Let's go back into head back to the truck with the snowmobiles and get the dogs in the box, and let's get things going here. That's a beautiful track.
Well, that's a good
Nice and fresh,
Pretty
too.
fresh?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great.
All right, let's
Okay,
do that.
get out.
Once back at the truck, Jackie gets his gear ready. They head up the drainage to cut the dogs loose on the track. Mountain lions tend to travel the most rugged terrain imaginable, making foot travel for the hunter a real challenge. The tracks in the snow are often the only indication of what direction to go. After a couple of hours, they're finally able to hear the dogs.
Okay, Jackie, you hear the dogs right here? About 100 yards. This tree. Oh, he's got it? Yeah, let's go up there. Yeah, let's go. Take a look at it.
The cat was halfway up a fir tree when Jackie arrived. Jackie checks every option to find the right angle. The big male mountain lion is surrounded by branches and offers only one shot for the bow.
Yeah, just hold on right below that limb there. Right. Just slide right beside his shoulder blade there. Okay. See that little, here it kind of gets dark right there? Yeah. Aim right on that.
God, Tim, he is huge.
Big cat. Take your time now. Hold your breath. Take your time. About 20 yards. Yeah. Okay. Right there. Hold the shoulder blade.
Oh, man, look how big. Look at the head on him.
Yeah, he's a good...
Look at the teeth.
Yeah, look at that.
Wow.
That's a heck of a...
Now that's what does the damage on the elk and the deer.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can see the
and
teeth.
Cattle and everything.
He's a real big old cat. Now this cat, he's going to go, you know, a good 15-inch head on him. He's a...
Look at that.
He's a big
Look at
old
his
cat.
claws.
Yeah, looking at something.
Look how big his foot is.
Big. There's so many of them in this area. You know, we've seen, what, 5, 6 sets of tracks here last
It's been a great week. I mean, Al and Tom and Donnie and Wade and Erik, everybody's just done a great job.
All mountain lions in Idaho must be checked and tagged by the Fish and Game Department, an important factor in proper management of a healthy population.
The idea is to keep control of the harvest at a level that we feel comfortable. And so there is no real worry as to over-harvesting the lions because we do have those control breaks at this stage of the game. And we're comfortable that we're not exceeding manageable surpluses or sustained yield in our harvest population.
It's important to note that mountain lions in the western states are not currently endangered or even threatened. Their numbers are actually on the increase. This is largely a result of overall game management practices of the various fish and game departments. When the deer and elk populations increase, so too will the predators that feed on them. And by maintaining the mountain lion as a huntable big game animal, two major goals are accomplished. First, it allows the Fish and Game Department to regulate the number of cats taken in a region. And second, it keeps a wild animal wild by preventing an expanding population of mountain lions from losing their fear of man. In areas where mountain lions are not hunted, they lose all fears of humans and actually begin to associate people with food. This has led to some disastrous consequences, with people and pets being seriously injured or killed.
Our last stop is with Buckmasters cameraman Mark Oliver and Gene Beilesbacher as they hunt the late season in Montana and take a couple of tremendous bucks.
It was the last week of November in Montana as Mark Oliver walks out onto a bluff to glass the woods for deer activity. He immediately spots a buck standing right out in the open. The buck is actually standing on the ice and is trying to get a drink from the frozen creek. Another buck, just about the same size, comes out of the willows and walks the creek bank. The second buck carefully works his way across the ice. Mark catches movement in the willows and gets into position. A nice 10-point steps out. He walks down the creek bank and keeps on going. Late that afternoon, Mark spots a deer way off in the distance. It's a tremendous buck, angling across an open meadow about 400 yards away. He takes one last look, then gets into a shooting position. The buck stays on course and heads for the willows at the creek bottom. Mark is ready, but the buck turns to walk away.
Man, oh man, I gotta check this guy out right here. He's got more points than I could tell from where I was. Man.
It was a frosty day as Gene sat one of the stands along the creek. A young buck comes down the trail close to the stand. Late that day, a great buck passed through an opening several hundred yards away on the other side of the creek, but never really offered the opportunity for a shot. On his way back to the four-wheeler, Gene catches movement ahead of him. It's a nice 8-point, chasing a doe. The buck never offers a good shot. he just gets farther away. Gene walks in the same direction with hopes of catching up with him. He catches sight of him going into a draw. As the buck follows the doe out of the draw, he offers the perfect opportunity for a shot. Gene made a good shot on the buck and walks up to take a look at him.
Man, what a nice buck. He's a super power 8-point. Waited till the last day, but we saw some really nice bucks, and I was holding out for a good one. We spotted a good one and tried to get to him, but we just could never catch up with him. But this guy showed up, and he's got everything. He's got mass, he's got tine length, and he's a mature buck. That's what I like to see. He's a good buck. I'm happy with him.